welcome to another webisode of Galui's Mood Food. Today we're going to be making for you Hamburg soup, something that we both grew up on, and it gets the veggies into you and you don't even realize it because it is absolutely wonderful. We just taken it to another level for us along the way. Absolutely fantastic. So these are our ingredients. Before you even really get started, get a small, and this is actually a small head of cabbage. Okay, you want to quarter it. You want to take that core out of it, and you want to do pieces roughly small to medium. You want to set this whole bowl in the freezer for about an hour. And the reason why you want to do that, it softens up and it lets the cabbage cook a little bit quicker. And it's not so tough, and it's just another vegetable that blends right in with everything else. We've got probably about 2.5 pounds. We're using ground chuck. Alright, now you're going to need a large stock pot right here, and it's going to feed the masses. Alright, there's our next thing. We're going to get this started here, but I also want to show you before we get the ground chuck started, you know about the cabbage. Okay, and also want to show you that we have a can of corn, a can of peas, a can of carrots, and we had taken celery stalk, and we pulled 2 of those off, and we sauteed them in butter, light butter, and just a little bit of the vegetable water that we've drained off of our vegetables. Hang on to that right here. But we sauteed the celery in that, and then we had taken 2 really nice Yukon Gold potatoes, large ones, and we peeled them and we boiled them in water till almost done, not quite, okay? They were still very firm, and we mixed all those in. Whoop, there goes one little piece of something on the floor. But mixed all that together after the potatoes and the celery had cooled down. So this is what you get, and it's a really nice blend of vegetables right there. So at this point in time, I'll tell you about the other goodies in just a little bit. But what I want to do right now is we got a very nice deep stock pot. We're going to put our ground chuck in here and let it cook, and we are going to put in with it, almost forgot, a cup of onions that are kind of a small, medium dice, okay? That's a cup of onions. So we're going to let this go right here, these 2 things, and we're going to put them in the pan, our crock pot, or
your pot.
Yeah, we're going to put it in the stock pot. It's a stock pot. There's crock pots, there's stock pots, there's this pot, that pot, the other pot.
Crack pots?
Well, that's me right now, a crack pot. But we are going to put it in here. We are going to brown this off very nicely for you. Okay? With the onions. And then we shall be back and let you know that we're going to drain this. And then we are going to add everything else, and I will show you the steps as they come along. And yes, you will see all the steps. So, see you back in just a few after this browns off. Hey everybody, I'm back. Just wanted to let you know and kind of show you. Now, it's nowhere near done. It's still pink. But the ground chuck is in here. We did a couple of swirls of onion powder. We did a couple of good shakes of black pepper. And we did a couple of swirls of some salt. And we use sea salt. Okay, your choice on that. And we put the cup of onion in it. A cup and a half, you know how things go. But you want this to be kind of chunky. Don't break it up so fine that the ground chuck disappears. Break it up enough that, you know, you still have some nice chunks in there. So just kind of let it cook on its own instead of doing one of these and killing it with a spatula or a spoon. You just kind of let it brown and you stir. And you let that brown and you stir. Okay? And then we're going to come back in just a few. I'll show you what it looks like after it's brown and stirred. And we drain the fat off of here. Okay? You don't want that in there. So we're going to drain all that off, which we got a really good blend. Again, we're using ground chuck in place of just a regular hamburger. So we'll see in just a few after this kind of stirs and browns, stirs and browns, stirs and browns. You're watching Galui's Mood Food. Stay with me. Hey everybody, we're back. Galui's Mood Food. Just kind of want to show you what we have done here. We had drained the drippings off of the ground chuck, and our onions are a nice light translucent, but look how chunky it is. We didn't mash it up, we didn't crumble it apart too much. You got some nice chunks in there. That's what you want. Okay? Anyway, I'm gonna get this back down in here. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna add some onion powder. Yeah, I know it might look like a lot, but it's not. Okay. We have got the liquid in here, 1 cup of liquid from the vegetables, the canned vegetables. Okay. We also have the difference in 1 cup of beer. Okay. Or bouillon. Your choice. No problem either way. So if you want to go with, but do the vegetable water, okay? It just imparts flavor. Yeah. Put that in. See, it's 2 cups of goodness right there. And we'll probably have to add a little bit more chicken stock. But we got, the reason why we freeze the cabbage again, and this is actually 1 small head, as large as this bowl is, but it's probably going to cook down to half its size. More, like, yeah, it will. Not more likely, yeah, it will. But it kind of tenderizes it, that it's already like pre-cooked after you have it in the freezer for about an hour, and then you just let it sit in the counter when you start everything. It starts getting a little bit tender and soft on its own, so it actually cuts down on the cooking time for this. So we're going to add all this beautiful cabbage. And again, get a small head of cabbage, unless you are going to make some coleslaw as well. So that's in there. Put that there, put that in there. And we are going to do 1 jar of marinara. Okay? The families used to use spaghetti sauce. We do marinara. It's a little thicker and it's a little richer. Give that a couple good whacks right there. But then what you want to do is take a little more stock. You want to put into this. I'd say all the way. Fill that up with stock. Give a couple of good shakes. To get all that good stuff out of there. So what it does is it basically, look at that. What you want to do is kind of cover your cabbage that you have in there right now with the stock and the sauce. Yeah, and you can push it down at this point in time and everything. Now, if it doesn't look like it's slightly covered, just give a little bit more slash, a couple more. All right, we'll just do that. Of the stock, a couple more splashes, or the rest of the box, whatever. But that's really doing it right now for it. You want to put a lid on this, and you want to simmer this for about, well, a little over a simmer. You want to bring it to a light boil, but you want it covered, okay? But let me kind of give you a little insight and a little peek to what is kind of going on in this pot right now, if we can. See that? Alright, so everything's just covered. And that's before you get all your vegetables in. So we're going to let this go ahead and go. And a heavy simmer, light boil type thing, but we're going to cover it. And then we're going to come back in just a little bit. It'll be a blink of an eye for you. But we will be back, and we're going to show you the rest of this. That's why I say you need a large stock pot, because this is a very hearty dish, and it's actually very healthy for you. There's all kind of goodies in here and vegetables, and if you have a family to feed, this is a great way of doing it. See you back in just a few. Hey everybody, welcome back to Galui's Mood Food. This is our Hamburg soup. Alright, this has been cooking now for about an hour and a half with a lid on, probably to about a medium boil. In the meantime, what we had done is we had another cup of another jar of marinara. We added a cup of beer, all right, and we added 2 cups of stock, chicken stock. Now, if you don't want to add the beer, just don't delete any liquids. Just add the difference in stock, okay? It'll still work. It'll still be fine. It'll still be beautiful. Okay? This is what it's looking like. And what we need to do is that's why we let the ground chuck in big chunks. But this is, I need these. And again, this is a full meal thing for your family. If you're hosting, if you want to make some for yourself and send some to a friend. But we haven't even added our vegetables yet. Again, this is just the sauce, the ground chuck, the stock, the vegetable water, off our vegetables, the beer, and the cabbage. We've got the 2 things of marinara in here. We added a jar after it started really cooking and doing really good. That's when we added our second thing of marinara, and we added our extra stock and our extra beer. Now goes in the vegetables. Again, we got some canned in here, and we had some that we have, like our potatoes that we had done up in broth and chunked up, and there are, Yukon Gold potatoes. And we did the celery separate as well. And we did the potatoes in a stock. And we did the celery and just a little bit of butter. So we're gonna put this in here. Again, this feeds the masses. And when we were kids, it really needed to feed the masses. But again, we upped it one by doing different things. Now what you're gonna do from here, check that out. That's why we got this whole big stock pot full of goodness here. You can't do a little batch when you're doing this. Even if you get the smallest head of cabbage, which we did, you can't do it in tiny batches. So plan to have friends over. Plan to have, oh, look at that. Plan to have, to give some out to a neighbor or to a friend, or for a meal to kind of stretch it. If you have a larger family, this is extremely hearty. It's very rich. It's extremely wonderful. And look, I just want you to look at it again, because ever since I was a kid, both of us, it's been just a wonderful meal for us. Check it out. And this is a huge stock pot. Again, you're watching Galui's Mood Food. This is Hamburg soup. Keep it for yourself. Eat the whole thing. Share it with friends. Whatever you want to do with it. Family, friends. Salute. Bon appetit. See you later. Next time.